Hey there, Lori Kennedy here, and this is the Business of Becoming podcast for entrepreneurs who want to build the business and life of their dreams all on their own terms. Whether you're into marketing, sales, online business strategy, paid advertising, technology and scaling, or personal relationships, health, wealth, mindset, raising children, and spirituality, the Business of Becoming podcast is your weekly dose of no-holds-barred conversations, inspiration, and practical training so you can up-level your business and your life all on your own terms. Business of Becoming podcast, episode 01. Well, this is exciting, isn't it? My very first solo Business of Becoming podcast episode. No pressure or anything to make it over the top incredible. Since the Business of Becoming podcast is designed to help you become more of who you are meant to be so that you can build the business and life of your dreams all on your own terms, there is no better way to kick off this podcast than by starting with creating a vision for your business and life. Doing this one thing has helped me in ways that I don't even know, and I don't even know where I'd be without having done it so many years ago. So before we dive in, I want you to head over to www.lorikennedyinc.com/podcast and download the episode 1 companion worksheet. You're going to want to bookmark this webpage and print out the companion worksheet a couple of times. It took me a couple of drafts to get a vision for my business and life I felt really good about. Okay, now that you have the companion worksheet, let's dive in. By profession, I am a registered holistic nutritionist, although I don't self-identify as one. But in order for this story to make sense, I need to take you back in time. When I first graduated back in 2007, I left school feeling like I had it all figured out. I was going to rent a room in a chiropractic clinic and be the one to rid the world of candida and digestive system problems. I was going to be an overnight success. I'd be on TV, I'd be in magazines, and the money, it would be rolling in. I was 26 and so naive. I never started a business before, nor did I even realize that I was starting a business then. I was a registered holistic nutritionist, and I knew stuff about health that most people didn't, so that made me feel special and unique. I thought people would be banging down my door asking me for help, literally handing me their money and doing whatever I told them to do so they could get better. For those of you listening who've gone through a similar experience, I hope you're smiling to yourself. And for those of you who are about to go through that experience, well, I'm glad you're listening because I am about to save you from feeling like you're being kicked in the guts with a steel-toe boot. Back then, I didn't know that I had options on how I wanted to build my practice. I had no idea that seeing clients solely on a one-to-one basis was going to burn me out and cap my earning potential. Now, this applies to you whether you're a health practitioner or another type of service provider. Working with one-to-one clients isn't the only option. Now, one of the reasons I decided to become a nutritionist was so that I could have more free time, and I didn't have to work 9 to 5 like everyone else. Wherever you are on your business building journey, I know this episode has come at the right time for you because what I've learned over the last decade of building my business is that I get to create the business and life of my dreams. You and I get to decide our future. But in order to do that, in order to get everything we want and feel deeply fulfilled, we first need to know what it is that we actually want and why we want it. Before you dive into action mode or continue down the path of making random decisions, wasting money on coaches and course collecting, feeling like you're working oh so hard but not getting the results you want, I want you to stop and think about what it is that you actually want, what you believe you are truly capable of, and why it all matters to you. Why doing what you're doing now, why does it actually matter? Most online entrepreneurs I speak to feel so unfocused, they feel overwhelmed, and they're unsure where they should be spending their time, energy, and attention. It's because they don't have a clear vision of where they want to be in, let's say, 3 to 5 years from now. And when I say clear, I mean it. I mean, you have a written down description of what your business and life will both look and feel like in 3 years from now. Not the how. You don't need to know the how, not the how you're going to achieve what you want to achieve, because the how is revealed by your constant imperfect action taking, and the how, the game plan, shifts as you continue down your journey. But the what you want your business and life to look and feel like, that remains the same. That is your light at the end of the tunnel. Think about it this way. Let's say you want to take a trip, but you don't have a final destination in mind. You have a general idea of what you want to do, but no actual address. So there's nothing that you can program into your GPS to give you those turn-by-turn directions. But you decide to head out on the open road anyways, and within a couple of hours, you start to feel frustrated because it feels like you're just driving without any real direction. It feels like you're missing specific sites that you know you should be seeing, but you aren't because you couldn't plan ahead. Maybe you're going the wrong way. So you start to get nervous. You pull into a gas station and you ask for directions. And the gas attendant looks at you like you're nuts because you can't give them a specific endpoint. Without a specific address, the gas station guy can't help you. So now it's getting dark and you need to find a hotel, but you don't know which way to pull out of the gas station. You feel alone and lost. And so far, your trip on the open road sucks. Maybe that's a bit of a dramatic explanation, but that's how it can feel when you start to build a business without a vision of where you want to end up. The vision is your endpoint. Without an endpoint to program into the GPS, you don't get turn-by-turn directions, so you end up chancing it, taking wrong turns, wasting time, getting lost, and frustrated. Now, even with GPS turn-by-turn directions, you might find that there are unknown barriers that pop up. Traffic, construction, detours, and you need to take them, and that's all good. It's normal. You're just course correcting along the way, like a good GPS does when there is a roadblock or traffic. The lady from your phone says, recalculating. It's part of the becoming process, but the end game, that end point, it's still the same. So if you feel like you're driving in circles or you're continuously taking wrong turns that lead you nowhere, and you want those turn-by-turn directions so that you can enjoy the ride, so you can enjoy the journey and get to your final destination as quickly as possible, then please do take the time to do this vision exercise. And again, you can download the companion worksheet at lauriekennedy.com/podcast. Before we dive in further, I want to give credit where credit is due. Craig Ballantyne, the author of The Perfect Day Formula and the founder of the Perfect Life Workshop, first introduced me to the power of creating a vision for your business and life back in 2012. A lot of what I'm going to share with you comes from working with him over the years, and I cannot recommend working with him enough. I'm going to start by explaining what a vision statement is. Yes, it is pretty self-explanatory, but indulge me anyways, because the definition of a vision statement is specific to the work that we're going to be doing in this episode. A vision statement is a clear and concise word picture that describes what your business and life will look and feel like in 3 years from now, written in the first person as if it's the future and the vision has already happened. Now, you can set your vision statement to be 5 years from now, but I personally like 3 years. It makes it feel more tangible and it makes it feel closer to becoming real. So pick a timeline. I'd pick a specific date 3 or 5 years from now. Let's say September 2020. I wouldn't go past 5 years because that's too far in the future. And as you answer these questions, I want you to remember that there are no right or wrong answers. This is your vision. You get to decide what your business and life looks and feels like. So describe where you are. Describe your location. In my vision statement, my location is my backyard at my home. My vision 3 years out is describing a celebration that I want to have. So I describe the location as being my backyard. I described what my backyard will look like and how it's decorated for that celebration. Now think about who you're with. Who are the people in your life 3 or 5 years from now? Maybe there's some of the people in your life right now, or maybe you want to attract new people into your life. For example, in my vision, I am with my partner, my kids, and his kids. At the time of this recording, I'm divorced and single, but in my vision, 3 years from now, I'm celebrating with my partner, our blended family, my business partners, our clients, my parents, and my extended family. When creating a vision for your future, I find it's really helpful to focus on a specific event. It could be a celebration, a grand opening, hitting a major milestone, going on a road trip, buying a home, getting married, something that you can focus on, describe, and actually feel. So the next question is, what's the event? Describe it in detail. What are you celebrating? Why are you celebrating it? Who's there? What does it mean to you? Why is this event important? My event was celebrating our 500th licensed MRD location. We're having a big party in my backyard to celebrate all of our hard work and success. After you describe the event, and it's important in detail so that you can feel the accomplishment of it as if you've already achieved it, we move into the gratitude phase. Who are you grateful to, and what are you grateful for? When you're thinking about who you're grateful to, these could be people you currently have in your life, or people that you want to attract into your life that will help you accomplish the big event, the thing that you're celebrating. In my vision, I'm grateful to my business partners, and then I described who they are, what roles they play, and why I'm specifically grateful for them. Then I described all of the awesomeness that I'm grateful for. These are the things that I desire to have or desire to experience, and I'm expressing gratitude for them as if I've already experienced them. This part is very powerful. As Abraham Hicks would say, when you could feel the things that have not yet materialized as though they have, you are launching rockets of desire and getting out of your own way. You are raising your vibration. By feeling grateful for the people and experiences now, before it's even happened, raises your vibration and energy frequency and allows the things that you want to flow straight towards you. The next part is describing your accomplishments. These are specific and measurable goals that you will achieve over the next 3 years, but you write them down as if they've already happened. Reverse engineering the big event that you're celebrating. So what has to happen in order for that event to be realized? For example, the first accomplishment I was celebrating was solidifying my team. I listed out all of the positions I think that I needed to fill in order to support those 500 licensees. I loosely outlined pay structure for the positions, and I noted that the top 3 team members would be making over $100,000. That's a big accomplishment for a boss. The second big accomplishment I would be celebrating is generating $10 million in revenue. The third big accomplishment I would be celebrating is taking the month of July off, completely disconnected for an entire month every single year. So I hope that you can see that by defining the event to celebrate and describing your 3 big accomplishments helps give you a strict focus. If I want to have 500 licensees in the next 3 years, get my revenue to 10 million, grow a team where the top 3 members are making 6 figures, I have to start saying no to a lot of the things that I'm currently doing. I have to stop jumping from project to project. I have to stop paying attention to shiny objects. I have to stop doing a lot of the things that I'm currently doing. My stop doing list is going to be a long one. Then I need to figure out where my time is best spent, who I need to ask for help, and put my horse blinders on, keep my head down, and just do the work. Maybe I hit the goal and maybe not, but at least now I have a very clear and concise plan for where I need to spend my time and energy according to my vision of how I want my business and life to look and feel like in the next 3 years. Okay, now that we've established your big event, the people and things that you're grateful for, the 3 big accomplishments you've achieved, it's time to shift to the personal side of your vision. I want you to describe how you want to feel throughout your day. The reason that this is important is because we sometimes forget that we have the power to decide how we want to feel. I know that for the first couple of years, I was hustling my ass off to build my business, and I felt frantic and panicked. There was this one particular Mother's Day, I think it was 2013 or 2014. Time is such a blur these days. But I remember my then husband asked me what I wanted for Mother's Day, and I said 24 hours completely alone. I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to do anything. I want to be alone. And then I had a full-on eat, pray, love moment. You know what I mean. I was hysterically crying on the bathroom floor of the hotel room. I was burnt out, tired, alone, and miserable. I was working so hard to build my perfect business and life, I completely forgot to actually live my life, to enjoy the journey. I had gotten so far off track, I completely lost sight of who I was, and everything felt hard and forced. Nothing felt calm, purposeful, easy, or abundant. Now, those are pretty woo-woo words, but if you intend to feel a certain way and then let the day run you, which is totally normal, you'll have the awareness that you don't like how you feel, and hopefully you're going to do something about it. The point is to think about how you want to feel and then set the intention. As the awesome Danielle Laporte says, intention is everything. I'm not perfect. Life isn't perfect. There are days when I still feel frantic and panicked, but I'm hyper aware now and have the ability to pull myself out of those feelings and change my state so that I can get back to feeling the way that I want to feel. The last part is to envision the activities that you do in your business and in your personal life. When I did this section of the Perfect Life Vision with Craig, I could feel the realness of it, and it was exciting. It lit a fire under my ass to plan these specific things. So I want you to describe things that you do. What do you do on a regular basis? Why do you do it, and how does it feel? One thing I wrote down was that I take 1 week off a quarter to plan. For that entire week, I don't actually do work. I dream, vision, and plan. I also wrote down that I go to the gym 4 times per week. Next, you're going to describe things that you do with your family or your loved ones or your friends. For example, in my vision, my family does a big Friday night dinner 2 times a month. I described who would be there, what we'd eat, how it would feel, and why it was important. Now describe things that you do with your partner or a loved one. Maybe you do them with your kids. In my vision, my partner and I go away for 3 days every quarter. Either we plan a staycation or we go away somewhere, but there's no work, no phones, just us. I described how I wanted to feel during those 3 days and how it would strengthen our relationship. And the last part of the vision exercise describes how you will give back, what your contribution will be, and what you will do to feel deeply fulfilled. This could be donating time or money or other resources. It could be hosting charity events or teaching. Think about what feels deeply fulfilling to you and then describe it. The worksheet says, each year we do this to contribute, but you can change it to a monthly thing that you do if that suits you better. In my vision, my family volunteers once a quarter for an organization called Safe Haven, which has group homes for special needs kids all around Toronto. I have personal ties to this and want my kids to grow up being integrated with kids with special needs. It is deeply important to me. So what's important to you? What's something that you've always wanted to do to contribute, to give back, but you haven't made time for it yet? Write it down. So there you have it, your completed vision statement for your business and your life. How did that feel? I'd love for you to share your experience with me. So after you complete your vision exercise, leave me a review on iTunes and tell me how you felt while you were creating it. I would deeply appreciate it. Also, remember to subscribe to the Business of Becoming podcast on iTunes so that you don't miss out on any future episodes. As always, thanks so much for listening, and I'll talk to you real soon. I do hope you enjoyed listening to this episode of the Business of Becoming podcast. As always, you can find any resources and links mentioned on the show over on the show notes available on LoriKennedyInc.com/podcast. And remember to subscribe and leave a review in iTunes. Let me know what you loved most about this episode. And again, thank you for listening to the Business of Becoming podcast.